and welcome to the Golden Hour and the Live Life Golden Manifest Live Life Golden podcast and YouTube show. I'm Golden Duffy. Today we are talking about Uplevels. This is actually one of my favorite conversations because it's talking about creating more of life, manifesting more of life, having more power over the life that you are creating, and becoming more. So it's a scary endeavor sometimes. It comes with all sorts of fears and doubts and things that you must overcome if you really want to change your life. The mechanism of that mind, the mechanism of your ego is to keep you safe and to keep you the same. So when you take moves, when you make leaps of faith to change your life, a lot of things get stirred up. And the things that get stirred up are actually being stirred up so that you can heal them. Nothing that happens, like nothing that comes up for you wasn't already there. So because things are, they're creating this this connection to things that you have that have been going on underneath all along. And the thing about what's happening underneath is you're always creating from it. So you aren't always aware of it. That's where people say, you've got this like subconscious thing going on. But I really do believe that we have access to it. And that's what today is all about, is gaining access to the freedom that we have to change, the freedom that we have to realize, the freedom that we have to create something new. And Uplevels, they are not for the weak. Most people you will see don't take these in their lives. And that's why when you do decide to uplevel and change your life, you may be met with a lot of other people's resistance. When we had decided that we were moving to California, we didn't tell a lot of people because we knew that whatever their view of California was, whatever their opinion was about what we were about to do, we really didn't want that in our mix. Because what happens with your vibration is when you invite other people's opinions and ask them for advice, their opinion starts to become part of your vibration. So it can either talk you out of it or it can make you more determined. So as we started to tell people that we were doing this, we were going to, create this huge leap of faith, when people, were negative about it, we used that as our determination. And we decided that they were not going to create our experience. So that's the issue with asking for other people's opinions, is they have their own stories, they have their own vibrations, they have their own experiences. And if you don't want those experiences, if those experiences are negative and you don't want them in your experience, then don't ask for people's opinions. Don't tell people what you're manifesting or what you're going to dream. It also kind of gets you in trouble when you talk about what you're going to do and then you don't do it. So that's like an integrity thing where people start to feel like, oh, she doesn't really mean it, or she's not really going to, or he is not going to stick by his word because he always says that he's going to do these things, but he never does them. So that's also another good reason to keep quiet. You also, when you talk about things a lot, yes, it's cool to like talk about things, law of attraction, that sort of a thing. But when you talk about them and you don't have the action behind them, it's not a strong enough conduction to get this wave going. Talking can be very much just like lip service and empty words. It's just like affirmations. If you're doing them and you're not really feeling them, they're just words. And sometimes they can even do the opposite for you. If you're saying them, you're not believing them and you're feeling kind of worse about it. So be careful with that. Affirmations should always be felt. They should always connect with something that you truly believe, or at least that you're getting closer to believing. They say affirmations can kind of get to believe it, can retrain that part of your mind. But if it's making you feel worse or you're not feeling anything at all, then it's really just a waste of energy. And if you're talking about what you want to do a lot and you're not doing anything about it, you are also in the vibration of lack of it. So as you're talking about it, you're most likely saying what you fear about it, how you just can't do it, how you don't know how to do it. All of those things are in separation to actually creating it. So that's another reason why you might not want to talk about it. So you've decided you want to do something, you want to manifest something, whether it's you want to let go of something in your life or you want to introduce something in your life. Um, both very strong signals need to be had in both situations in order to manifest, because a lot of times these things, up levels in life are not just about science, they're also about spirituality. So I'm going to give you the science of the up level and how the up level in science works, but also in your spiritual realm, because as spirits here on this walk of earth, I completely believe that we are here to up level, that we are here to continue to grow and to express life through us, that we are the conduits, that we are actually part of that stream of consciousness, infinite intelligence, whatever you like to call it, God, source, that we are expressing so much through us, and that we're the conduits of the life force. So when we don't move forward, when we don't do the things that are calling to us, that's why it feels so miserable, because that conduit always wants to be providing new experiences, new situations, fun, adventure, risks, growth, strength. All of that stuff comes when you start saying yes and you stop putting the limitations on your life experience. If you have something that has been calling to you for a long time, California, it was 4 years that I had this call in my heart. And before that 4 years, I never thought I would move. I never thought that I would do anything like that. I was comfortable. I was, 10 miles from the place I grew up. My girls went to the high school that I ended up moving to when I was a junior. We had friends, we had family, we had a life there. My husband had a big business there. And, as life progressed and we started to go through financial struggles and got introduced to a company that started to allow us to travel and to see the world, we began to expand and grow our vision for, like, what do we, questions that we've never asked before were suddenly at the forefront. What do we want to do with our life? What would we really want to experience? Where would we really want to live? And when you start asking those questions, that's when you start providing the universe the energy and the information that you are ready for it, that you are going to start to take those steps towards it. And being in that element of, I will say there's two sides to this. If you've been wanting something for a long time, there's a readiness process, readyingness, right? I don't even know if that's a word. I think I just made it up. But honestly, you are getting ready. So if you haven't done it yet, first of all, stop beating yourself up, because the lack of it and the beating yourself up and I shoulda, coulda, woulda, those things actually just keep you in a low vibration that distracts you from the opportunities and experiences that you might see if you were like, I'm getting ready for this. If you were in that, think about that. That is such a different vibration. I can't do it yet. I don't know how to do it. I don't know what I'm going to do. I need to get out of this. I need to let this go. Versus every day I'm getting more ready for this. Every day I'm watching for the signs and the signals. Every day I am using my vibration in such a way. I am heightening it. I am meditating. I'm following my intuition. I'm paying attention. Such different vibrations, almost like on the opposite side of the field, really. So if it's been a while and you're still, second guessing it and thinking about it and not sure about it, that's okay. That's okay. That's really okay. I think that if we had tried to move, and you can't say, who knows, right? But if you try to do something before you're ready, the road's a little bumpier. It's fine. You're going to manifest. It's amazing. And maybe it's a better way to go faster. I don't know, but it can be a little bit bumpier because you haven't actually aligned completely with what you want and where you want to go. So it's okay. Where you are is beautiful. It is amazing. So let's say it's something that you want to let go of, whether it's you want to let go of a relationship, or you want to let go of a job, or you want to let go of friendships, or you want to let go of situations that are literally no longer bringing you any joy. Like there's no joy left. And you keep doing it out of habit, or you keep doing it out of respect, or you keep doing it out of, oh, I've known this person my whole life. How can I do that? Oftentimes happens is we get a pile on of all the reasons why I shouldn't let it go. And that's the mind and that's the ego working to keep you safe and the same. It's going to give you all those reasons why you should stay the same. If you continue to have those promptings, those feelings, those thoughts, those energies that are telling you it's time to go, it's time to move, it's time to do something, then that is worth paying attention to. So as you start to move and you feel like, okay, I'm going to do this, but I'm not exactly ready and I'm not exactly sure how. The time between your vibration being in alignment with who you want to be, right? It's an identity creation situation where you're like, this is who I want to be. This is the life I want to live. The time between that is the time it takes energy to catch up to the physical. And it's based on how you feel, right? If you feel like it's possible, if you believe it's going to happen, if you're excited about it, if you're consistently talking about how you can't have it, or you're consistently talking about how you are going to have it and you feel the feelings to it, and you have all these people around you who are positive and supporting you and telling you to go for it, right? And then the other side of that is when you're in the lack of it and you're not able to believe it, and you're not able to pull enough of a signal, right? To shine enough of a signal on it. That's when years and years and years can go by and you can start to feel, not great about it. The awesome thing is it can change at any moment, at any second. This can change for you. And it's really just based on your internal field, like how you're feeling inside. So, couple of things that I would do if I was kind of stuck in a situation. I'll tell you some of the things that we did as far as moving. But if you're in a situation and you need to let it go and you're not ready to let it go, and there's just a massive amount of fear and a lot of doubts, and there's too much on this side, right? On the end of the stick that's like not wanted. There's too much on that side. And you're not feeling like you feel kind of paralyzed, right? You feel kind of paralyzed in your life. And so when you're in that paralyzed state, you don't have a very high vibration. You're waking up every day and you're just kind of like getting through it, right? So what I would do is I would find ways to raise your vibration. So appreciation and gratitude is great. Meditation is great. Doing things you love is great. Writing down what you want to create, and then doing some envisioning work, not just visualizing, but envisioning, which envisioning is like, you are seeing it as if you're part of the story. You're not watching yourself as a movie, but you're actually watching it out of your eyeballs, like as the main character. Scripting is a great thing. Write it out as if it's already happened. Write out exactly how you would like to see your life becoming, right? Some of the other things that I would suggest if you're in this go-between place, right? The time between the energy and the physical, it takes the energy to catch up to the physical. I would use this time of great contrast and great challenge, to your absolute benefit. So use it. If there's like crappy energy all around you, like say you're working a job and you hate it, or if you're in a relationship and you're really struggling, use this time to be more, to show yourself that your vibration really matters in every situation. So play with it, play with the field, play with appreciation before you walk into work. Write positive aspects of your coworkers, especially the ones that you're having a hard time with. Write down everything you love about your life, and train your mind, those neural pathways, to continue to reach for those thoughts of goodness. Like if it's your job and you're like, I got to get out of here, then it's like, well, I'm really grateful that right now I get to make this paycheck and I get to look for other jobs on the side, or I can use this job or this relationship to actually clarify what I want. So all these things that I don't like about this job, or all these things that I don't like about this relationship, are creating a stronger desire for me to create something that I do love, that I do want to be a part of, that I do want to go to every day, that I do want to create something meaningful and deep with. So clarity is so powerful, and clarity always comes from knowing what you don't want. So use this powerful, powerful time. I know it may not feel powerful. You may feel like I've made excuses, I've put limitations, I've been living in this place for so long, I don't even know how to move in a different direction. Stop doing all of that and saying all of that and confirming all of that, and come over here and decide, how can I do this? What do I want? Where am I going? And what is life calling me to? Those are such great questions. Use those as journal prompts because they are really, really good questions. You can rewind it if you need to go back, if you need them. Okay, so use this time. This is a very powerful time. So most people think this is not a powerful time. Like, I have been going through the motions. I haven't really worked on manifesting. I've been sloppy with my thinking. I've been really just getting by in life, right? It's a powerful time. Especially if you're watching this, so freaking powerful. Because if you're watching this, that means that you are interested in the up level. That interest in the up level is like cracking a window, right? Light's going to shine through if you're cracking the window. So as you continue, it's going to continue to open. And before you know it, it's going to be a door that you can walk through as you continue to be more positive about it, more amplified about what you want, more determined. You know, determination sometimes gets a bad rap when it comes to law of attraction, especially some of the teachers out there. They feel like determination is too much efforting. And the problem with that is if you don't have a strong resolve, right? If you don't have this like energy of determination, it's going to be really easy for you to meet some resistance or meet some roadblocks and run back and run away from it. It's going to be very easy. The determination that you need to have needs to be stronger than the resistance. It needs to be stronger than what you've lived before, right? All the times that you've let yourself down, all the times that you've let life kind of push you around. It has to be stronger than that, because that's what really gets this wave cooking. That's what gets the wave to really become more than just energetic matter, energetic vibration. I mean, energetic, molecules and cells. In order for it to break down into physical matter, this is the science, physical matter, you need to have a strong enough conduction towards what you want. Now, yes, things manifest sometimes when you just barely think of them, right? You just barely think of somebody and you bump into them at the grocery store. But the reason for that is because you have zero resistance to that. When you have a thought about somebody, you don't normally go, oh, I'll never see them again, right? Unless that's what you want. For the most part, somebody pops into your head, you think about them for 17 seconds, maybe 68 seconds, and then they call you, they text you, they message you, or you bump into them. Those are very easy manifestations because you don't have any resistance around them. That's what they say. It's just as easy to manifest a castle as it is a button. But what changes in that energy of manifesting is we think it's really easy to manifest a button, and a castle feels like there's a lot of resistance in that. Am I worthy of it? Where even is a castle? Would I need to move to another country? There's so many questions when it comes to like a castle, right? So the really, really simple things, the easy things come easy because you have a belief about them that is easy. Okay, so then tying this into the spiritual part of it. Spiritually speaking, when you are going through hard times, when you're going through challenges, or when you're about to take this up level, there is often a massive amount of contrast that a lot of times has to be connected very much to your emotions, and your emotions kind of dipping low. So you may feel depressed, you may feel anxious, you may feel paralyzed, you may feel like frustrated, or like confused, all of those things. Once you start to realize that these energies, this negative side of the equation of emotions, is your indication that you have something to clear, that you have something to grow from, and that you have something to heal, then you start to get into that spiritual realm of asking the powerful questions. Where is my stuff in this? What do I need to heal? I've said before, like, what am I missing? Now that I say that, I'm not sure that I love that, but I had a couple of things happen to me with different people where I was actually manipulated, and I had money kind of taken from me in business. And the second or third time it happened to me, I was like, what am I missing? And that actually led me to some answers of my own worthiness, my own belief that somebody has to come and rescue me, my own thought process and belief system around not knowing what to do, right? Like my own confusion, or my inability to have confidence in growing a business and creating money and all of that, like being a business person, right? Because I tend to be more on the spiritual side. So all of those questions were really important for me to start to stand in my power, and also to wake me up to the ego game. So the ego game, when you're doing stuff like I'm doing, is like, how many listeners do I have? How many people are watching? How many people are reading my posts? And how big can I get? How much reach can I have? And as much as I would always say, my mission, my passion is about the message and helping people to know that they're powerful, there was that underlying thing that I really needed to clear out, which was like, about the fame and fortune. Um, Over that, so over trying to be something. It just, to me, it's like, I'm just going to be me. I'm going to shine my light in the world. And honestly, the shift in abundance in my experience from doing that has been exponential, because then I'm not like, I have to make money, I've got to figure this out. It's like just letting it go, and the universe is completely taking care of it. So maybe there's some ego stuff that you need to clear out. That feeling of, I got to be something, and I want everybody to see me, and I want everybody to know that I want to feel like I'm being watched by people, and I want to be seen, and all of that. Like, those a lot of times are connected to wounds from our childhood, from where we grew up, and we didn't feel like people didn't make us feel like we mattered, or we didn't feel like we mattered inside, so people reflected that to us. So all those negative emotions that you feel, the shame, the guilt, the low confidence, the frustration, all of that stuff it's a habit. Those are habitual emotions that are tied to wanting to feel like we matter. That's what drama always is. I did a lot on drama last week. I did a lot on drama the week before that. But that's a lot of what drama is. Even staying in your situation could be an addiction to drama. It could be. Because if your life was good and better, then maybe you wouldn't have the attention that people are giving you from you being frustrated and complaining all the time, right? I remember I shared this before, that my husband and I used to try to one up each other on how bad our day was, because I was home with the kids all day and he was out, making the money, and he would have these horribly stressful days, and so would I. And I would be like, well, you don't even know what I've been through. And it was just not a good game. No one won that game, by the way. right? Like the person who won that game was losing because they had the most stress. So pay attention to that, especially if you're doing it with your partner, like trying to one up each other on how hard your lives are. Not a great vibration. Not a great vibration. We were joking the other day because I said to my husband, I'm gonna start asking people how their adventure is going. And I actually did it with somebody and they were like, what adventure? And I was like, life. Like, how is your life adventure going? Just to get people to think differently about life and not having it be such a struggle or survival. And my husband said, well, what if you said instead, if you said, what's going well for you? Instead of saying, how are you? Because I feel like when we say, how are you? It's an invitation, at least for me, and I guess that says something about my vibration, but I feel like it's an invitation for people to kind of start dumping, like, or paying attention to emotions. It's like they sit there and they go, how do I feel? Well, this morning I spilled my coffee, so I was mad about that. It's like they can't connect with the feelings of good, or they'll be like fine or okay, or whatever those, surviving, still going, got up this morning, like all the ones that you hear. But instead, if you were to say, hey, what's going well for you? That's a really powerful thing to ask. Really powerful thing to ask. And for people to connect with that and go, oh, right, I have something good to say. Hopefully, right? Hopefully they have something good to say. So shifting our energy on our life experience really helps it to become something better and more. In our spiritual lives, that faith, that trust, that fuel that allows us to move forward on things that are unseen, right? Like we've got these things out here and we want to manifest them, but we don't know how they're going to happen. So we have this thought and we're like, okay, I want to do this. I want to let this thing go, but I have no idea how I'm going to pay my bills if I do that. Or, I want to get out of this relationship, but there's so much I'm so engaged with this person and there's so much wrapped up in it. Maybe there's children, maybe there's a house, maybe there's finances. I don't know how I'm going to get out of this. That's where the spiritual side starts to come in because it's the faith. And whenever we're about to do something wild and crazy, change our lives in a really significant way, we only factor in what we could lose. We don't factor in what we could gain because we don't have any idea how great it's going to be. So we kind of keep ourselves from that greatness because we don't know. And that's where the faith and trust comes in, where we're like, well, I'm sending a signal there, right? Like, what's your vision for it? Do you have a vision for it? Like, if you want to radically change your life, do you have a vision of what that looks like? And make sure you cover all the bases, especially if you're about to do something really big and really significant. The gains that you get from it can't really be quantified. The losses, yeah, because you're like, oh, I'm going to have to let go and I have to let go of money, or I'm going to have to let go of security or whatever it is. The losses are really, really easy to get to, really easy because you can see them, right? The gains are much harder to see. It's like you don't even have any idea how good it could be on the other side. So that's something very powerful that our mind does to try to keep us safe and the same, is to keep us in that ping pong match of, well, if the doubts and the fears that come up. So how do you navigate the doubts and the fears? How do you come to a place where you start to decide, my fears are not going to dictate what I do anymore. My fears are not going to tell me that I can't do this. My doubts are not going to tell me that I can't. I'm not going to listen to that anymore, right? That's the shitty committee. The fears and the doubts 100% are the shitty committee. So instead, I'm going to start retraining my neural pathways. When the anxiety comes up, I'm going to label it excitement. And I'm going to go, what am I so excited about? Instead of what am I so afraid of? It's not a terrible idea to look at your fears, because remember, fears are false evidence appearing real, right? Fear, false evidence appearing real. So when you look at fear right in the face, most of the time it dissipates because you actually acknowledge it. So it doesn't need to keep knocking. You look at it and you're like, okay, this may sound like go totally against your law of attraction stuff. What's the worst thing that could happen? Because the worst things that could happen are often great lessons for us. They're great contrast for us, and they allow us to ramp up our clarity in what we really desire. So the worst things that could happen are never really that bad. And when we think about, oh, I'm going to make a mistake and I'm going to really screw this up, you can't do it. You can't screw this up, because the mistakes that we call mistakes, um, it's a mistake, right? Like, break the word down, mistake. Guess what? You get another take. That's the whole point. We get another take and another take. It's just like the analogy of, oh, my ship came in and I missed it. Another one's coming. It's not even possible for you to miss your ships. I mean, there's people that create things so much later in life, 60s, 70s, even 80s, some of the inventors. So there is another ship coming, but what is your belief system about it? Have you discounted it? Have you said it's never going to happen? Have you given up on it? Are you not providing any energetic connection to it anymore? There's no more alignment because you don't even think about it. You've just shut it down. This is my lot in life. It's not going to get any better. It's a really sad way to exist, really sad. And I'm telling you, it can be so much better than that, so much better than that. All right. So in the spiritual realm of creating, deciding what you want and having an envisioning practice is a great idea. They always say right before you go to sleep, that was Neville Goddard, right before you go to sleep, you feel it. Because then that 7 to 8 hours, it's like marinating. You've set up the energy field for it. You may have dreams about it. You may feel about it for hours during the night. So that's a great time to visualize. It's also a great time to get yourself in a higher alignment before you go to sleep, so that if you do wake up in the middle of the night, you're not in the middle of this like anxiety. All right. So then as you're asking yourself, as you're labeling anxiety, excitement, as the fears and the doubts come up, and you look at it and you say, all right, if this is the way I want to go, then I'm going to follow the energy on it. So even looking at your fears, facing your fears, all good, looking at the worst case scenario, but then just saying, I'm going to follow the energy on it. Because oftentimes we're trying to make decisions before the energy tells us which way to go. So we're like, well, I have to do this and I have to do it now. And we put all this pressure on ourselves. The universe never pressures. So if somebody's trying to pressure you to do something, take a step back. Just say, I need some time. I need some time to meditate. I need some time to process. I need some time to see what's going to happen. So I shared with you guys last week that my daughter had this job that she was really unhappy with, and we had decided that she was going to let it go. More to the story. So what ends up happening is she tells the people she's not going to do the job anymore, and they offer to pay her sooner because they weren't going to pay her for a month, which was really challenging. They offered to pay her out right away on what the work she'd already done. And really told her what a great job she was doing and that she was of value to the company and that they really wanted her to stay on. Shift in the energy field, shift in the way she felt about it. Potential for money to come in right away, which was one of her issues because she had to hold on to other jobs because, so she was like piling all this stuff on top of herself and it was really hard. So she was able to let go of a job because this money came in. So we said to her, we're like, okay, well then if you're feeling good about it, then feel good about it, right? Like do the job and feel good about it and then watch abundance come in. Because if you're miserable about something, you're not in alignment with abundance. It's like almost impossible for abundance to come in when you're miserable about it. So, so far we'll see what happens with that story as it unfolds. But again, watching the energy field will always tell you how you're feeling about things. Now you can shift how you feel about things, which makes things easier, makes things better, which gets you in a better vibration. You can always change how you feel about things. But if you are getting more and more and more miserable, that's what we call nails in the coffin. And that nails in the coffin means it pretty soon you're going to break free. Pretty soon you're going to take that leap of faith because you start to recognize this is so bad that whatever that leap of faith provides for me that I'm afraid of is not worse than this. That's what ends up happening because you just get in so much pain that you're like, I don't even care what I have to do. I've just got to get out of this. then you will. So I guess the real spiritual part of this is just not to worry about where you are, not to feel like you're not where you're supposed to be, because you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And exactly where you are is what's going to lead you to more. And you will know when it's time to act, unless it's been years and years and years and you're just tolerating so much that it's starting to affect your health, it's starting to affect your happiness. Then I would say you've really got to take a look at some of the actions you can provide to change the energy field. Some of the belief systems that you have that are keeping you in this energy of stuckness, which y'all know the law of perpetuation, the law of transmutation of energy, the law of transmutation of energy. Yeah, that's what perpetuation of the that's a big one. That's a big law, but it's basically like you're perpetuating the transmutation of energy. So energy is always moving. That's what the law means as I stumble through this one. If you want to listen to some of my season 1, I have a whole thing about the laws of attraction and the perpetual transmutation of energy. I knew it would come. It was up there. It was swimming around. That's where energy is always moving. So you're always changing. You're always moving. Your cells are these pathways of illness and they can't get out of them. It's because they keep having the same thoughts over and over and over again about that illness, and it can't shift and it can't change because they constantly keep sending the same signal. So because our bodies are healing mechanisms, they always have the ability to heal, which is really good news. Okay, so the science part of this is all about igniting new energy, instilling new belief systems, looking at the blind spots. So just being like, where am I limiting myself in this? What have I decided for myself? Have I decided this is my lot in life? Have I decided this is the way it has to be? Have I decided I have to be miserable? The worthiness things, the things like that that are calling to be healed. Asking what is calling to be healed. What is this stirring up for me? Where in my past have I been in the same cycle, in the same situation? And I just keep perpetuating it, right? Where has that happened? And how do I clear it? How do I step into a new place? And I'm going to do a little energy work in a second. Okay. So the science part of it is all about this wave. It's all about activating new energy, paying attention, looking for signals, following the energy field, deciding that this contrast right here, this challenge, this stuff that I'm not having a good time with is actually creating greater clarity for me. So guess what? I'm going to write it down. I'm going to write it down every day. I'm going to script it as if I'm living it, which means you basically just write your story about what you're living, but write it present tense. I am waking up today feeling amazing because I got this amazing new job and people that love me and respect me, and I have a great team, and whatever it is that you're desiring, script it out as if you're living it today, right? Do it because that's alignment. That's energy creation. That's identity creation. And then heavily recognize that it takes time for the physical to catch up with the energetic. So the interesting thing about that space between the energy and the physical is you're conducting this energy, right? So you've decided what you want. You're like, I'm going to manifest this. This is happening. I am, right? And then in between, what the energy starts to change and you can see it and you can feel it and you can start to see a little bit of flow. And then something happens that is very similar to your past. And now you have a choice. You can go back to being that person you were, or you can respond differently. That's what actually creates a very strong and powerful energy towards something becoming physical. So example, it's a lot. That's a lot. I know. Example, you've been struggling with your finances. You've been, your bank account has been low or in the negative. You start changing the way you feel. You start feeling alignment with abundance. You start deciding that you're worthy, all of these things. And then maybe you get a little promotion at work. So then you get more money in your bank account, and all of a sudden you have more money in your bank account, and that's awesome. And you're excited and you feel abundant. And then you get an unexpected bill in the mail, and it pretty much takes the money from your promotion. And you're like, I'm going to be broke for the rest of my life. That's how you go back. to the identity. Something always takes my money. That's when you go back. Instead, if you were to be like, it's okay because I'm living abundance now. Now something greater is going to happen because I trust in the energy field because I've already seen evidence of it. When you change your response, that's when you change everything. And it takes so much determination to leave that old identity and to say, I am moving forward. I am changing this. I am becoming someone new. I refuse to complain. I refuse to get in a low vibe. I refuse to get bummed out. I refuse to feel the lack vibration. That's how you change. That's how you end up becoming abundant and actually creating a new level of abundance that continues, right? That breaks through that ceiling of anything you've ever experienced before. Science is so fantastic. I just love it. Okay. So then the spiritual side of that is you're getting ready to change. You start meditating more. You start connecting more. You start knowing who you are. You start clearing out, asking yourself what needs to be healed. You let all of your experiences become opportunities. So when you have a falling out with someone or something negative happens, you look at it and you're like, where's my lesson in this? Where's my gift in this? Where is my stuff in this? You start getting really clear about your response, your responsibility in the situation, and that helps to change it. And then you start asking, right? You ask and it is given. I mean, it is literally said in our Bible, ask and it is given every time. So you ask, you connect with divine energy, angelic energy, all of your non-physical support. And in that asking, it's not asking from a place of lack. This is the difference. This is the difference between religion and spirituality, I think. You're not asking, please, do this for me. You're asking in faith. I trust that this is coming. I trust that I will be supported. I know that I've got this non-physical support. I know that divine energy is on my side. And that's the difference. And lead me, guide me, help me to see the signs, help me to recognize the energy. Send me the signs, send me more signs so I can feel more confident in this, right? All of those things are so not only helpful, but also like if you were to imagine like a rabbit and a carrot, it's the carrot like that you're going to keep following and keep going after because at the end of the road you're going to be able to experience the carrot, whatever the carrot is for you. Okay, so let's do a little bit of energy work and then maybe we'll do some little Russian roulette with the book. But I hope this really helped. Uplevels they really are a huge part of why we're here because we're not here to just be static. We aren't here to just struggle. We aren't here to just live in the mundane. We're here to find the awe-inspiring, miraculous in every single day and in every single way so that we can be in these high vibrations and we can really enjoy life. And, the point is not for you to just be happy. The point of you is to grow and to become more and to expand and to share that with others, right? Like how many times have you gone through really tough times and then you meet somebody that's going through the same thing that you did last year and you have so much wisdom to share and you become that beacon of light for them to walk through so often. So it's not just about up leveling. It's also about our connection with other people and their up leveling and navigating that. Okay. So when the fears come up, it's looking at them and it's saying, what am I really afraid of? And what is asking me to clear? What is being asked to clear from this fear or from this doubt? And can I let it go? Can I let it go? Can I get out of this paralysis of analysis and step forward in trust and faith? That's the spiritual side of it. All right. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath. And we like to do our breathing where we breathe in and we hold, and squeeze from the bottom of your body. Squeeze your belly all the way back to your spine, all the way up, and push against this third eye with the air in your body. And just keep holding And then when you let it out, let all the tension out of your muscles. So hold, and release. Breathing in again. Holding and squeezing. And release. Really letting all the air out of your lungs. One more time, breathing in. And holding. Clearing those neural pathways, allowing your mind to rest. And breathing out, allowing yourself to relax and to be in this moment. So I want you to think about something that you are considering doing or up-leveling to or letting go. Okay. Ooh, can feel that in my heart. So wherever that situation is, it lands right in your heart. So in asking your heart, what does this mean for me? So what does it quantify? What does it equal letting this thing go or taking this quantum leap of faith? Come up with some words. What does this mean for me? Why do I want to do this? Because I'll be happier, because I'll be more abundant, because I'll feel freer. Come up with those words, okay? And those words you're going to hear from your heart. Yeah, we're listening into the heart now. So if you focus on your heart center, you're going to get different words than if you were just to think in the top of your head. So bring your attention to your heart and then bring your attention to your head. It feels very different. So bring your attention to your heart and ask those questions. What does this mean for me? Why do I want this? Where am I going? Right? Sometimes we have these desires and we don't even know where they're going to go. Where do we want them to go? What is the vision that you can see for yourself? Okay, great. And now we're going to go a little deeper. And we're going to connect with whatever fears or doubts are there. So I want you to connect with the words of the fears and the doubts. Ooh, a little lower. In the heart still. So sometimes the heart can hold excitement, which can be misconceived as anxiety, right? Heart races feels like anxiety, but it also does that when we feel excited. All right, so going a little deeper down into your belly, your abdomen, your solar plexus. All right, so what are the feelings that are coming up for you that make it so you don't want to take this leap of faith? All right, so let's get rid of those. So take a deep breath, release any fears, low self-confidence, low self-esteem, release the doubts, release the wounds, the traumas, any PTSD. So yeah, post-traumatic stress from things that have happened in the past. Release other people's stories, other people's judgments, worrying about what other people think. Release the shame, the guilt. Ooh, release the people pleasing. Yeah, release the obligations. A lot of times obligations are what keep you standing still. Release the connections to not trusting, distrust of self, distrust of others, distrust of the universe. Release all energies connected to your childhood that kept you from shining your light. So all those shadows, all those ways you dim your light. Releasing the energy in your heart from heartbreak, from unforgiveness, resentment, and fear. Releasing from the root. So this is the bottom of the spine, all that energy of feeling unsupported, unloved, undervalued. Release the energy of not mattering. I'm getting lightheaded here. Okay. Release all the energy in the neural pathways that connect to overthinking, anxiety, confusion, doubts, fears, why this won't work. Yeah. The things that put you down, the skepticism, the cynicism, the negativity, the addiction to drama, the addiction to asking for other people's opinions. Yeah, the jealousy. Are you jealous of other people that are living what you want to live? That blocks the blessings. That blocks all the blessings that could flow. Releasing all the energy of standing still. So stuck energy, the belief that you're stuck, anything that might be blocking you, any blind spots, we ask that the blind spots release. We just release any head energy around this. Any worries that you're not in a good place, that you're not in the right place. Any lackful energy. Any energies of being worried that people will be mad, or that people won't like you, or that you'll make a mistake. Good. Breathe that out. Breathe. All right. So now we've got a clear channel. Take a couple more breaths and just release any of the rest of the heavy energy. I feel a little more in the heart and a little in the throat, which means you may be closing down your truth. You may not be being honest with yourself or others. Yeah. So now we have this clear channel. We invite in new energy, new opportunities, new signs, new signals. And I want you to ask a very poignant question to your experience that you would like to manifest. So the question of how can I? Where is my stuff in this? What do I need to believe? What do I want? How can I clarify? What is the next step? And straight up ask for what you want. This is the life I would like to live. Please deliver it to me now. And bring this light in through the top of your head and let it come through those neural pathways, just clearing and cleansing and giving you a clean slate. Letting it come through your throat, clearing out that throat so you can speak. And connecting that light to your heart. So you're always speaking from the heart. Bringing that light into your abdomen, all the way down into your root, connecting you to universal support, divine support, energetic connection to your non-physical support in any way, shape, or form, allowing you to be in a high vibration, to feel the light all the way around your field, and to send that signal. To imagine right now that you have a bow and arrow, and the front of your arrow is lit up with your desire. And I want you to pull back that bow and launch it. Launch it into the universe. Launch it into your energetic field. And know that as you do this, you have now decided energetically what you would like to manifest in the physical. And now it is just allowing, watching, moving forward, and trusting and having faith that it's already done. So just for a moment, I want you to see it. I want you to feel it. I want you to see who you are in it, looking through your eyes. So if it's a physical, materialistic object, I want you to see it. I want you to try it. I want you to hold it. I want you to smell it. If it's an opportunity or an experience, I want you to feel how you'll feel in it. What will you wear? What will the expression on your face be? Who are you with? And where are you? And then come back here with me. Whew, man, these have been long, so long that they take up the rest of the show. But that's why I've been starting them a little bit earlier, because I like to just let the energy flow, and I like to just share with what's coming through, because I feel like that's super duper duper important. All right. I love you all. This was such a great show. You can get my book, Amazon. Mindful Manifestation Secrets is on there. It's also on Audible, Mindful Manifestation Daily Guide and Journal. That's our hardcover. These make great Christmas books. Reach out to me at livelifegolden@gmail.com if you're interested in getting a whole package of these. I can do the parenting book, I can do the Mindful Manifestation Secrets, and I can do my new one, The Perfect Unfolding for the Expansion of Your Soul. And I can bundle these all together, putting messages in each one of them for someone that you love, that you really want to make a difference for, this holiday season and really change their vibration, I can do that for you at a discounted price to get them all together. I don't know what that is yet, but I will let you know if you email me. But you can get those all on Amazon as well. That is our show for today. You are on your way. You are on your way, baby. The up levels are happening no matter what. They're happening, and it's just letting go a little bit. It's moving towards it a little bit, and it's having that perfect balance of allowing and trusting and knowing and being a little more determined in your thoughts, in your feelings, and in your beliefs. All right, you guys, I love you all. This was such a great show. All right, peace out.